welcome back to Nerdog Podcast, episode 61. And today we are gonna talk a little bit about the third installment in the Leprechaun series.
Oh, joy.
Well, yes, the joy. And as you could hear, Zombie is with me here today. I'm Josef, of course, and we also got the man of men with us today. Okay, how are you doing,
Hello.
man?
I'm doing all right.
Like always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always great.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad.
No, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Zombie?
I'm doing good. Nothing out of the usual.
Okay. Me myself, I'm pretty fucking tired. I'm gonna change the working schedule at work tomorrow. So I haven't slept very much. But yes. Have you guys catched anything since last time?
No, not that I can think of.
I haven't seen anything either,
Okay.
fortunately.
Oof.
Well, I've catched a couple of things actually, and it's not Dexter this time.
Praise the Lord.
Me and Mom sat down and watched all three of the Annabelle films, the Conjuring spin-offs. Annabelle Creation, and Annabelle Comes Home. Annabelle Creation is directed by David F. Sandberg as well, so we got some Swedish connection in there. I had seen the first Annabelle the same year it was released, and I remember I hated it. I thought it was just a lazy, boring piece of crap, basically. Super cookie cutter. Nothing new to the subgenre. I hadn't seen either of the sequels before, so it was a first time watch. But the first one, I I didn't hate it as much as the first time I saw it, but I still think it's a really boring movie. Uh, there are basically large portions of the movie that just drags on and on and on and on and on and on, and nothing really happens, and the climax is laughably short. There are basically no climax in the movie, really.
Oh.
The second one, however, which is a sequel, but it's also a prequel to Annabelle, which explains the origins of the doll. I thought that one was pretty good. It's more full-on horror, and there are a lot more demonic action in it. But yeah, the second one is pretty good, I think. It's way better than the first one. The third one, Annabelle Comes Home, was okay, I guess. It was really unnecessary. It felt like it didn't add anything to the Conjuring universe whatsoever. It felt mostly like a big cash grab. and it was sure they were full on horror in that one as well. They basically was throwing jump scares in your face every 5 minutes or so throughout the entire film. But it didn't add anything to the lore of the Conjuring universe, which I thought was
Disappointing.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. It was a bit disappointing. But yeah, if you guys gonna, I guess none of you have watched those movies, or
I have not watched either the Annabelle series nor the original Conjuring series.
and not the Nun or the Curse of La Llorona.
No.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know you've seen the Conjuring films, right?
Yeah, I've seen those, but I haven't seen the Annabelle films.
Okay. And none of the other spin-offs. Either.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've thought about watching it, but I never got around to actually do it.
Mm. Well, you don't have to run your legs off to watch them. Let me just say that. The second one is without a doubt the best out of the three movies, without a doubt. The third one is, like I said, okay, but it doesn't add anything to it.
Mm.
To the universe, I mean. But yeah, that's everything I've watched besides Leprechaun 3 and something we will talk about in the next episode.
Yeah.
Should we roll the trailer then, perhaps?
Yeah.
Or do you guys have anything else to add?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Alright, so here is the short and sweet trailer for Leprechaun 3.
Las Vegas, a gambler's dream, and a dreamer's paradise. They're all about to meet their worst nightmare.
Look out, Vegas! I'm taking over!
Now, the Leprechaun's back in the city that never sleeps. And he will never rest until he reclaims his pot of gold.
Belongs to me, this gold I smell. Whoever's got it's going to hell. I want me shilling.
Hello? If we destroy the gold, we get rid of the leprechaun once and for all.
Leprechaun 3. The third time's the charm.
The ancient evil leprechaun begins his reign of terror when Scott, a young college student, has a run of bad luck in Las Vegas. While at the pawn shop, Scott discovers one of the leprechaun's gold coins, which would grant the fondest wish of the one who holds it, giving Scott the chance to make his fortune. But unfortunately for Scott, the leprechaun will kill, torture, and maim to get his coin back. And that was the back blur for Leprechaun 3, the Lionsgate release of Leprechaun 3, which I have in a box set from Lionsgate. All right, so Ogge, I bet you love this movie. It must be one of the best movies you ever watched in your entire life, right?
Not really.
No?
I hated it.
Oh, come on. I know you like it. Come on.
No, it's... They should have turned this into like a PG-7 type of movie and make it for kids. It would be so much better, in my opinion. It has the plot of a kids movie and the setting for it, but with some violence and nudity in there. It fails, yeah. It doesn't feel at all like a horror movie. It's just, yeah, kids show. So I thought it was lame.
But you appreciated the boobs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Good.
not worth watching the movie though. It's a complete waste of time. I got bored like, well, 10 minutes into it, and it felt like it's 4 hours long.
It does. It really does.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's probably the most harsh review you ever done on this show.
My goodness.
Savage.
I did watch the second one too, and I think the same thing about that one. So, yeah.
Yeah, you were on the Leprechaun 2 episode, right?
I think it was the three of us then too, only.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I was on there, but I know I've seen it, and I hated that one too. So, yeah. It's
It's not an Ogge movie.
no, it's a combination between a horror movie and like a kids movie, and it fails at both.
Yeah, it's too graphic for being a kids movie, and but it's too silly and childish to be a.
It's too fucking lame. So yeah, I'll give it like maybe a 1. Because, well, I don't know. Yeah, a 1 or a 2. It sucks. And it's frustrating to watch. You're watching the clock and the timer more than the movie. It's like being underwater, just waiting for it to end. Like an endurance.
So this was a endurance test for you, then.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that. Well, I actually suspected that you would rip this one, and this movie a new one.
Yeah. Like this whole franchise, I've read like the title of them, and that's when I knew I was gonna hate it. I read like, this is not for me.
Oof.
And yeah, I was right.
Just you wait for part 4. Yeah, I'm just, just.
I'm imagining it's gonna be the same shit with a lesser budget.
How many movies are
To
there?
me, it's not gonna make a difference.
I won't spoil the 4th installment for you, but I can. Well, let's just say that it's the worst out of the whole bunch.
Okay.
Oh no.
And there are 8 installments in the series.
8 installments.
Oh
Yep.
god, and we were only on the third one.
The 7th movie is called Leprechaun Origins. And it's very different from the rest of the series. It's more the 7th movie is more a creature feature than a supernatural inverted commas slasher with a wisecracking leprechaun. The 7th movie is more of a monster movie.
Sounds interesting.
And part 8 is a direct sequel to the first movie as well. But it's not Warwick Davis who plays the Leprechaun in that movie, unfortunately.
Then what's the point?
And part 5 and 6 is back to back as well, if I remember correctly. They're called Leprechaun 5 in the Hood, and Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Oh
It's
yeah,
part
I
6.
remember I've seen those somewhere.
Mm.
Yeah, like just the covers, but
Anyway,
Yeah.
Ogge loved this movie, so what are your thoughts about it, Stormy?
like I didn't think of it, but when Augie mentioned that it's very much like a kids movie, like it is. It very much is. I I didn't like it. Simply put, it had a very big lack of the Leprechaun in the first place, and very much unnecessary focus on other characters, which is bland and boring and added nothing to anything. And you didn't really care about what they were doing, saying, or anything about them. Like, there's only like one scene in the whole movie that I actually did enjoy, and that's in the hospital when uh, the leprechaun got.
Scott, yeah, when Scott gets the what's it called? Encephalogram, I think it's called. That says "fuck you."
Yeah, that was also fun. But also the part after that when the leprechaun got chased away before he could kill one of the characters and just was going away, just giving them the finger as he went. I don't know why, but after all of the movie, that was apparently fun because I started to laugh and it was like, huh. So the bare minimum is making me laugh at this point because of just nothing in the movie. It feels like the main character is the stupidest person alive, surrounded by other stupid people. But it really gave me nothing, this one, to grab onto to keep me invested in what was gonna happen. And even though I don't like the second one, at least I feel like that one at least gave me something to watch more than this one did. Which is something I didn't really expect to say.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit surprised.
And somehow I don't even remember most of what happened in that movie either.
Mm.
But the characters are bland, the acting is, well, acting, I guess, to some degree. Uh,
Well, you that you can discuss that.
yeah, like the the only person that I like is like Warwick Davis, uh, because I don't know, he's iconic to the series at this point,
Yeah,
and
he is
just
the leprechaun.
and the plot, well, there was a plot, but
There was.
yeah, because but the thing is, if you made it in the, it sounds like a plot that you could put like in Halloween Town or something, or with a similar feel of Halloween Town, which is, and I think in if it was put there, it would actually be a good movie because it would then be for the intended audience. It would be a stupid concept, but it would work. Because I was just sitting through it. That at some point I was just sitting through it, hoping it would end. But
I can.
So you didn't enjoy it though.
I did not enjoy it. It was a few moments that I did, but they were too few and far in between for me to enjoy the movie as a whole. But because of the Leprechaun, I will give it a 2 out of 10.
Damn.
Or
You
two
guys
and a
are
half.
harsh. You guys are harsh today. Wow.
I was not in a good mood while watching it, to be honest. So that did change my opinion about it quite a bit.
I kind of agree with you guys as well. I think I said in the Leprechaun 2 episode that I'm not a particularly big fan of the Leprechaun series. I've seen the entire series twice, I think, or at least the first 6 movies twice,
Mm.
or 3 times perhaps. I don't remember. But I've seen them a couple of times, and I'm not a particularly big fan of the series, to be honest. Besides the original and the latest installment, I think the latest installment was pretty good. It's trashy as hell, but it's a lot of fun, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the same thing goes for part 3. I'm not a fan of this one, even though I, for some reason, remembered it to be a step up from part 2, which it isn't. It's a pretty big step down from part 2. I think the film in itself is okay. It's ludicrous. It doesn't take itself very seriously, and it's meant to be a dumb movie.
Yeah.
And like you said, Zombie, it got some funny gags here and there that works, like the whole hospital scene, which is just bonkers.
Yeah.
But for me, what overall makes the film feel like a chore to sit through is the acting. Like you said, Zombie, Warwick Davis is good as the Leprechaun. The character is meant to be super over the top, and he does his rhymes and
Yeah.
murders people basically. Carolyn Williams, who played Loretta, the middle-aged woman who explodes because of her butt and tits, they get very big.
Yeah, they do.
And John DeMitta, who played the wannabe magician. What was he called? Fazio?
Fazio or something or other.
Fazio. Yeah, well, whatever. They're super over the top, and I thought they were pretty fun to watch. But besides them, there isn't much talent to talk about among the cast.
Yeah.
I honestly can't understand how Jon Gattins, the guy who played Scott, landed one of the leading roles in this, since his acting is just god awful. I mean, in some scenes it sounds like he's reading the script instead of acting. You know, the only thing that's missing is the paper with the script.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, I really can't understand how the hell he got one of the leading roles. And talking about leading roles, Lee Armstrong, the chick who played what was her name, Tammy, I think. Well, the leading lady of the film.
Yeah.
Oh my god. She must have gotten the role because of her looks. I mean, since her acting skills are non-existent, she couldn't act her way out of a box.
Like, legit, the first time I saw those two interact in the movie, it felt like they were gonna like fuck at some point, because it felt like it was porn acting at the first interaction that those two had, because it felt so stale.
Yeah. It didn't feel natural whatsoever.
No.
I don't know if it was because of time constraints or the budget or whatever, but man, oh man. It was terrible. And sure, I can see the humor in the bad acting, of course. I mean, I'm a slasher movie fan, so
There's bad acting and then there's bad acting, kinda.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
acting
porn
that's
acting.
there's acting that's bad but still fun and you can still enjoy the movie. But then there's this.
Yeah, cringe.
Yeah.
It's cringe. It gets cringy. But with all that being said, I don't think I hate the movie. I just felt it just felt like a slog to get through this time. And at the end of the day, I won't have any hurry in rewatching this time. This film anytime soon, if ever.
It feels like a movie you can have in the background though. Just
Yeah, but
for sound.
perhaps it works. Perhaps it works better as a party movie. You sit down with like 3 or 4 friends and just drink beer and laugh at how fucking ridiculous and bad the movie is.
Yeah. I think that is the one good thing the movie has is going for it, that it would be good for a group watch.
Mm.
No.
No, get out.
It felt like you came from the other side of the room. Just no, it wasn't. Nah.
Yeah. Well, my rating will be. I've written down a 4 here, but after hearing your opinions about the movie, a 3 or a 4 out of 10 from me. I mean, it's bad.
If
But
you take the DVD case and recycle it and make a plastic bag out of it, I'll give it a 3.
What
oh
happened?
boy.
What did I miss?
What?
What?
I lost internet for a second, and I just came back to you
Oh.
laughing. And I
Oh. Basically, I said the movie wasn't very good.
ah,
Yeah, but with harsher words.
nice.
Yeah. I said if you recycle it and turn the DVD case into a plastic bag, I'll give it a 3.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
Uh,
What else is there to say about this quote unquote movie?
I don't really know.
I might be a bit too harsh on it, but I really can't stand like cringy comedy. So I might be
Yeah.
a bit harsh. But I still think it's shit.
Yeah. That's like say, well, I'm sorry I called you an idiot, but you're still an idiot.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the climax of the movie? I think it was a tad bit too short.
Yeah, it felt like they had so much going on in the movie to have the ending be a bit short and just too easily resolved.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, the ending in part 1 and 2 were a bit longer. You know, the climax was a bit longer in both of them. The end fight was dragged on a little bit longer.
They
I mean,
were.
the Leprechaun in this movie is kind of stupid since he basically gives the gold to Scott, who's holding a flamethrower.
Yeah, I've really felt that, like, the one thing that can kill you. Let's show it to everyone. Like,
Yeah.
and he really did believe that he could, like, convert him. Like, he is a ancient old leprechaun. If he still is the same leprechaun as earlier, who knows? They might
No,
be all the same.
it's a new Leprechaun for
Each
each
time.
movie.
I suspected something like that. And
Besides part 1 and 8 and 5 and 6.
yeah, it would have felt more interesting if they had better actors. Like, if they prolonged the climax by having him actually partly convert to the quote unquote green side for a part, and having like them double team some killings, and then having turned back in some magical Disney way.
Mm.
But yeah, I did like that he like lit on fire and just flew around the room a bit.
Did you guys see the strings?
I did not. I was just too focused on him burning.
No, I kinda had lost interest at that point. So I missed.
well, you lost the interest like 80 minutes before it happened, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I lost interest like about a year ago.
Yeah, well, if you look closely, you can see the strings of the leprechaun when he flies around while he's burning, which I thought was kind of funny.
Nice. I'll have to watch that scene again.
Another thing which made me laugh was it was part of the hospital scene with the encephalogram, which we already talked about. It's saying "fuck you."
Yeah.
That actually made me laugh out loud. But I like the what's it called? EKG.
I think so.
Yeah. It got pictures of small leprechauns on it, which also made me laugh.
Yeah, well, now we know what happens if the leprechaun ever goes to the hospital.
And then there's the scene when Mitch, the casino owner, gets seduced by a robot with huge plastic tits,
Yeah.
which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Well,
that,
the entire movie doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean.
it felt very dragged
Actually,
out.
I
Unlike
kinda like the look
most
of
other
that
games.
robot actually.
Because of the tits.
Nah, because all the wires and stuff. It looked pretty cool. But it should have been in a different movie.
Yeah.
One thing they could have done with the movie, I think, since Scott was turning into a leprechaun, instead of just doing the gags they do where he's eating a lot of potatoes and does a bunch of rhymes, they should have done it like a real fight between two leprechauns, you know.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning of the movie, when the pawn shop owner Gupta, I think it was called, starts this CD-ROM from mid-90s. That computer is 90s as fuck, by
Shit.
the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he starts this CD-ROM with about mythical creatures and leprechauns, and the program on the computer tells him about when two leprechauns meet, they start to fight.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was in the script but got cut or something. But I think they should have expanded upon that and made it like a big fight scene between Warwick Davis and Young Gattin's characters.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott. John Gaddins played Scott.
Yeah. And that would have been interesting, and it felt like they were trying to insinuate on that because of him slowly turning. And it felt very disappointing that that wasn't the outcome. And they could have done pretty much show just how not only silly the Leprechaun is, but also powerful and deadly by having this comparison of this most likely old Leprechaun and this newly formed one.
Yeah.
And just show that he's not only silly but also powerful in a kind of sense. That it would have been fun to have them just have that as a gag.
They should have done it from like the halfway point of the movie.
Yeah, and have that kind of be the thing that whenever they meet, they start to fight until it gets to the climax where they actually do duke it out fully and formally.
Yeah, I think that would have made the movie more entertaining, more adult oriented.
Yeah.
And like during their fight, there could have been, a lot of collateral damage with people getting, in the way.
Yeah. Either get intentionally killed or just get in the ceasefire or in the crossfire.
Yeah. In the crossfire, yeah.
Yeah.
In the ceasefire.
And they could have done it in like hilarious ways because they could have fought in like a very silly manner because it would have been two leprechauns and not just one human fighting in the human way versus the leprechaun.
Yeah. Since the movie is basically just the first movie again, but set in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't have that much else to say about it, really.
I feel like that is the one thing that makes the second one somehow work a bit better than this one because the second one actually had something else to come other than they've taken me gold.
Yeah.
Because they took something else about leprechauns and actually kind of expanded the knowledge of the leprechauns and gave us that.
Yeah.
And this one didn't do anything other than that. You can have another human being turn into a leprechaun. They like potatoes.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they don't really use that as any like actual plot points, I feel like. For any interesting ones, at least.
Yeah, it's more of a gag with the whole eating potato thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't add anything to the characters.
Yeah.
Or the plot.
The only thing they added was if you get bit by a leprechaun, you turn into a leprechaun somehow.
Yeah.
And that didn't even come up in the beginning of the movie. It took more than half the movie until that became a plot point.
Yeah.
Which makes it pretty, I feel like, unnecessary.
You should have came into the movie a bit earlier, I think.
Yeah.
And they should have made it into a battle between the leprechauns. What do you think about that idea, Ogge?
Well, anything's better than this. So yeah.
Like I said, you just wait for part 4. You just wait.
Yeah. Can't wait.
They could have had a whole thing where like they have Las Vegas to use as their like battlefront where you can have like casino slots and you can just throw people in them and you have the 3 things that come down and have them be leprechauns because a leprechaun got thrown into it or something. and just rain gold and smother something. I don't know. It just felt like they underused the casino
Location.
setting that they were in.
Yeah, the location. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it ever explained why the Leprechaun is not in Ireland, but in America?
In this one, no.
No.
Yeah, I figured.
In the first one, they explain it by.
Having him trapped in a box that got moved to America because he was sealed in it by the guy who stole his gold.
Exactly.
And in the second
But
one,
the thing in the first one is that he stole the leprechaun's gold, and the leprechaun followed him to America, and he managed to trap him in the box.
yeah.
In
And
the second one, I can't remember if they explained.
in the second one, you had him back in the day making a girl sneeze 3 times, but the father of the girl saved her, but the leprechaun decided to, I'm gonna have this girl, or at the very least her descendant's daughter. And so
yes.
and so she lived in America, and that's why he's there, because he still wants that bloodline.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
So actually,
I forgot that.
they explain that better than this movie did. My goodness. Ah,
It feels like it feels a bit like, now when I think about it, it feels like we missed like an hour or like half an hour of
movie.
story at the beginning of the film because of the guy with the metal thingy for hand comes in to the pawn shop.
Yeah. It feels like
But yeah,
he could have had a whole like short 10 minutes to explain it. Why?
yeah, well, it's lazy storytelling, I guess.
Yeah. All they could have done was cut the time between the pawn shop owner and the leprechaun's fight. Because that
Yeah.
wasn't necessary to the story.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to add? There were a bit more to talk about than I thought it would be,
Yeah.
to be honest.
All we talked about right now is just how we could improve the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've said my piece.
Mm. I guess you've done the same, Ogge.
Yeah,
It's shit.
yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, good. Alright, some background then. I couldn't find that much, really. But I picked up a couple of things. I found 2 different sources for the budget. One said $1.2 million, while the other one said $2.5 million. So I don't know which one is the correct. Widmark Entertainment released it direct to video on June 27th in 1995, and it became the highest selling direct to video film of 1995. And according to an article in Fangoria magazine issue 131 in April of 1994, the movie was first considered for a release in 3D, but by the time the movie began production, the idea was abandoned. And it is of course the first one to be released direct to video in the Leprechaun franchise. And Warwick Davis can be seen making a cameo without makeup, playing a slot machine when Scott is entering the casino, which I didn't catch.
Ooh.
It was directed by Brian Trenchard Smith, who had previously directed Night of the Demons 2 the year before, and who also directed the fourth installment in the Leprechaun series the next year in 1996. Caroline Williams, who played Loretta, had earlier appeared in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which I have spoken about before.
Yeah.
Because she was also in Stepfather 2, which we covered last year.
Yeah.
Jon DeMita went on to have a career as a voice actor and has lended his voice in both games and animes, English dubbed animes. And it's not an anime, but it's one movie that I think is not pretty. I think it's really good. It's the third CG movie in the Resident Evil franchise, Resident Evil Vendetta. I think he's doing the voice for the bad guy in that one. Lee Allen Baker, who had a small role as a waitress. She's the waitress who gives Scott the potatoes, I think. Also went on to have a career as a voice actor, and I think you'll find this a bit interesting, okay? Because she did the voice for Lachesis in God of War 2. It's one of the three sisters of fate.
Okay.
You know in the end battle when you fight two of the sisters, one is teleporting through some mirrors, and the other one is flying around in the arena.
Okay.
Yeah, Lachesis is the one who's flying around. So she did the voice for that character in God of War 2.
Okay.
Yeah. John Gattins went on to write the story for two blockbusters, the Need for Speed film adaptation from 2014, and Kong Skull Island from 2017. And he has written the story for a bunch of other films as well. And the last thing I got here is that Lee Armstrong, the chick who played Tammy, quit acting after this film. Thank God. But she also appeared in the family adventure movie Magic Island, which was released in December of 1995. Leprechaun 3 was released in June of the same year. And the only credit she has before Leprechaun 3 and Magic Island was some short film in 1992, I think. That's all I got.
Nice. Some people made names for themselves after this.
Yeah, which is, weird, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we wrap this up then?
Yeah.
Think so.
Okay. We are playing out with the main theme of Leprechaun 3. I don't have a clue what it's called. It's the main theme. It's the song at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
And what is the next episode's gonna be about, Zombie?
I have picked for the next episode, we are gonna be talking about the Slumber Party Massacre from 1982.
Indeed we will.
Yes.
Alright. So goodbye to the good the good folks then.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode. Hope you liked it, and hope we'll hear from you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Short and sweet, okay, like always.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll hear from you in the next episode. Goodbye.